You got a mo.
Hey, my man. Yeah, I got the mo, the sleazy mo.
And what have you done? Had a haircut? What have you done to your hair?
Check it out. You ready? No.
Oh my gosh.
Got this little
So,
flow happening.
you got a mini mullet happening at the back
Mate,
there.
I was at the barber and
Gee,
we all
very,
sort of, my missus and we all got involved on this haircut. And this is what we came up with.
you look like what's his name from Mondo Rock? What was his name?
Oh, you're funny. I don't know. I'll take it as a wrap.
He had the curly bit at the front.
Oh, so good. Yeah, sometimes, man, it's real like 80s.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it is what it is. I'm just going with the flow, bro. I'm glad I've still got hair, so I'm just making the most of it.
That's the main thing.
How you going, mate?
Good, good. Yeah, getting there. Just still there, moving in and everything, but a bit more organized.
And yeah, no internet, brother, for a couple of days, mate.
Yeah, and then they kept shutting my phone off. It's just been shocking.
Yeah, I tried you a couple of times, bro. Usually we just get straight back to each other. I was like, fuck, I was saying to my missus, I don't know what's going on with the big fella.
Yeah, they fucking. Because when I moved, I thought I'll just hotspot from my phone, that'll get me through, the weekend and whatever. And literally on that Friday night, they cut my phone off and all the internet and everything. I had nothing, and I'm trying to hotspot from my son's phone.
And fuck. And so you've got it all hooked up on one plan, mate, with your phone and.
No, I've got internet's on with someone and then phones with someone else that gets data, but I'm going to change them because they turned my phone off twice in a row, 2 weekends, and I couldn't contact them to get it turned back on. They're just
right.
Unbelievable.
Mate, anyway, what are we going to do? I've had that many problems with phones, bro. One time I went to answer my phone. I don't even know how this is even possible. I went to answer my phone. It slipped through my hand. And as I was walking, it slipped through my hand and went under my foot, and I trod on it and broke it.
Were you walking backwards?
The backwards man. Yeah, man, fuck, bloody phones, bro. Now I had like a good iPhone, and now I've got this cheap. It's been really good, actually. It's just a cheapie, but
what is it?
A camera,
like a phone or a smartphone?
It's a like a smartphone, but it's one of those
Huawei or whatever. Huawei.
Yeah, it's a Telstra, I think. It's a Nokia. It's a Nokia. But it's actually all right, mate. But the camera is a bit dodgy, which is, not good for my filming, which I like getting out and about. It's a little bit frustrating. I went down to Noosa again yesterday, bro. Mate, I've discovered something crazy down there. It's just, I can't get enough. And it's, we go down there for a swim, and mate, you're literally like, it's big bricks, square bricks, and then these tapered inserts and like all this crazy stuff. And I've done a video. I'm going to post that as well, mate. But the quality of camera is a bit shitty, but man, it's incredible. This melted coastline theory I think we're really onto something there.
It's just popping out now, isn't it, really, the melted coastlines? I think Paul Cook's touched on it, and Tartaria and Truthers have done one on it. So it's it makes sense. I mean, Paul Cook's basically, I think he's suggesting that like pretty much all of the UK, it's just, it was just one big building, and like all the cliffs that go into the ocean and all the beaches are just remnants of those buildings. So who knows how built up it all was, right? Or how much.
Yeah. And I envisaged, I don't think there was as much water, mate.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, we don't know how much. Yeah, the levels have risen, so we could literally be looking at halfway up the buildings, and that's what all these cliffs are and stuff. Because it's just like this, Great Australian Bight. I mean, it's pretty hard for them to explain that stuff through their geology and all this kind of stuff. That you just have this sheer cliff drop like for thousands of miles. Like, how do they?
I know.
that's not normally how that sort of how land, you know, forms, is it? It normally, you know, slopes. And so yeah, that's the thing. Like, I wonder what's down the Great Australian Bight, right?
Yeah, and that what you're talking about with those coastlines, mate, it's all around the world. Like, when I remember when I was living in England and drove down the coastline there, and that's probably what Paul Cook's, I think he's English, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So he's probably looking at all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's the same deal, bro. And
Cliffs of Dover and all that kind of stuff. And
sorry,
someone
mate.
was the White Cliffs of Dover.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, man, how do they explain white cliffs and all these different, you know, crazy colors you see everywhere? And
yeah,
I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? Like,
and mate, like Kelly said in one of your chats you had the other night, I was listening to, and I think we did with the Tartarian Truthers as well. She was saying that, I've said it before, but yeah, it's nice to hear it reverberated that, you know, Australia is just all red, you know, desert, and you know, all these buildings were red brick. It's pretty.
Yeah, and then we get things like opals, and you know, all these different gemstones and things like thunder eggs. You know, thunder eggs where they're like, well, I can't remember their scientific name. Geode, is that right? Where they're like a rock, and you smash them open, and they're full of crystals and stuff.
Okay,
is that all melt? Yeah, because they actually do look melted on the outside, don't they? Got that sort of shiny kind of look to them. So these all just melted remnants of what, you know, parts of these buildings, right?
Yeah, man. I've got my theory. I think it's not a theory, man. I think we're just on track. You know, like all the mountains around here, I've done videos on them. There's all those the same like brick formation throughout the whole of the mountain. Like, I just go off the track a bit, and you can see it in my earlier vids. These columns of they're bricks, man. And then they've got the audacity to, they make little benches out of them on the way up, like the walk, you know, like they use these bricks to make little like benches and stuff. It's like, fucking hell. And then you've only got to go off the path. I just go off the path a little bit, walk around this corner, and man, you're on the side of the mountain, and all the bricks, you can see what they've just pulled away and made seats out of.
Yeah, right.
You know? And then that same brickwork that I'm talking about, you see down on the beach. You know, and it's melted. It's all the same color, bro. It's all that like real, that the exterior looks melted. You know, and man, it's like, it's the brick, these brick walls on the beach, man. You can see like this next video I'm about to load up. You can see the bricks in the wall. And you can see where it's really still square, part of it, and then half of the wall's just like melted. It's like, it's just insane, bro.
Well, we see it with castles all over the place, you know, and mountains where they literally just join in and fuse to what we think is the natural rock, right?
Yeah.
They just kind of literally blend into it. And the thing is, in some countries, I'll call them castles, and then in other countries, they call them like hills or something, or mountains, you know, like, and they'll look exactly the same. Yeah. So some kind of admit that they're old castles and buildings, but yeah, I've seen some crazy pictures, like, and isn't it crazy that they're all starting to come on, that they're all starting to come out now? And I guess it's got a bit to do with like drones and all this. People can actually get photos of these weird places with drones and that. But it's interesting that when you know, when people start getting onto topics, just so much info comes out, doesn't it? Like, now that sort of cliffs are out there, there's just pictures everywhere of melted cliff lines, and like you said, like buildings inserted into, you know, halfway up a cliff, you'll see like a door and a window in there. And
they carved it out, bro. They get it there, they're little chisels, and they carve it. Fuck.
The monasteries are the best. Have you seen all these monasteries? And they're just like up on a cliff or on the top of a mountain. It's like, oh no, you know, four monks just wanted to live a life, you know, by themselves. So they just went up there and built this, you know, 100-room bloody monastery, you know, with 5-foot thick walls. Yeah.
How did they get all the materials up there, bro? It's just like
the thing.
fucking insane, man.
And it's always the same. And it's always like a piece of rope with a bucket on the end, you know, just pulling it up.
Yep.
And it's just crazy. Like the story, it's just crumbling and crumbling. The story they give us, though, isn't it? It's
man.
They're changing the internet now. They're taking all these bits out of websites and like all to do with our research. Like they're changing like the history bits in about the world's fairs.
Yeah.
So but it's still there. It's all there in Wayback Machine. But
mate, can you see my screen?
Yep, I can.
All right, I'm just going to bring something up. It's pretty.
Some of these old pics from Australia. Hey, so that one, yeah, 1600.
Yeah. So this I thought was interesting, bro, because you did a chat with some of the Aboriginal elders. Sorry, guys, this bloody computer. You did a chat with the Aboriginal elders, and they were talking about they said that the white man was here for a long time before.
They did.
And then we see this photo with 1623 on it. There's no, like, I know there weren't many cars around at this point, but I can't see any cars at all there. Like no vehicles at all. It's all trams and horse and cart.
Yeah.
And, you know, people will say, oh, they've just put the 6 upside down. So it's 1923. And
bit of a mistake, isn't it?
It's a bit of a, you know, they haven't spelt, like, got any of their letters mixed up or,
yeah,
you know, like,
it's
nothing.
Perfect.
It just seems a bit silly, mate. I think those buildings have been there for thousands of years anyway. So we know the narrative's all bullshit. We know that the Aboriginal elders have said the white man was here for a lot longer, and then we stumble across this. And mate, this is something I found too. Like, I don't know if they've just released a little bit more stuff, but I sit there every night, as you know, with my little one, putting it to bed, and it's, mate, it's like 5 hours every night now. So I'm just, yeah. So
being sleep deprived.
Yeah, to say the least, bro. So I have the bub from like 7:30 or 8 o'clock till about 1, and my missus tries, that's her sleep time. She just goes in and tries to sleep. And then I hand the bubba over around 1:30, 2, and then, then next thing I know, 6 in the morning, we're up. But yeah, I've been stumbling across this sort of stuff, mate. So it's all good. And I got a awesome little baby. So it's
interesting to think about, though, isn't it? You know, like, because we were talking on Tartaria Australia again with Kelly and Dale and JC, and Kelly sort of said, you know, have we just been mind wiped, you know, pretty much, like, you know, because you can see there's a population there. It's not overpopulated. It all looks, you know, it kind of makes sense, right? It's not one of these photos where there's too many people for the city or not enough at all. Everyone looks like they knows what they're doing, and it could literally just be a photo from that time. We just got through without the date being snipped off it or whatever.
Mate, I sent it off to Santos, and he was like, mate, that's real.
Because
he was like, that's real, bro. He's like, he goes, they fuck, you know, it's not upside down 6 or whatever. It's fucking real.
Yeah. But and this is what they do, you know, they have to give us the truth as well. But I mean, I also think there's some, you know, I mean, everyone likes to talk about the bad force and the bad AI, but there's definitely a good one as well. And that could be what's spitting out this stuff. But it's interesting to think, you know, we get this story of, you know, from the fairy tale, like the fairy tale land, and it's all kings and queens and castles and you know, turrets and all this kind of stuff, and all these, you know, well-dressed people, and, you know, that could be the past, but they just left out the trams, right? They just leave out a bit of the tech and that, or they just describe it as magic. And that could literally be how the world was for those last 500 years. You know, you know, and people wouldn't need cars because, you know, the thing is with cars and aeroplanes and all this kind of stuff, which I think everyone's starting to work out, is they move too fast. they just move too fast. That's why airships were so much better. You could see the land underneath you, right? Know where you were, and you know, you wouldn't be crossing time zones and being, you know, sort of stuffing your body clock up and all this.
Yeah.
You know, someone said to me that, you know, jet lag is really just spirit lag, right? It's like when your body lands before your spirit's caught up.
Yeah, I always thought that was weird, mate. Because I was young, and my first wife was an English lady, and we ended up moving to England, you know. And the first time I went over there, far out, it knocked me around, brother. I couldn't work out what the hell was going on, you know. But that back then, I just thought, fuck, I'm up the other way. My body, you know what I mean?
The blood's rushed to my head.
I'm used to being on top, you know. But if you see behind me, we know that's all. Yeah, that's all nonsense.
Change your mind there.
Yeah, man. So yeah, brother, I found some cool little pics, mate. This here is the fish market in Woolloomooloo, the first fish market in Sydney. Now, it's very fancy. It's very fancy for a fish market.
It is.
You know, and look at these creepy creeps hanging around with kids. Yeah. And that building, mate, that's up. Like, look at it's aged. You can see up here.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, what's the use of the balcony if that's a fish market? Like,
so if that's the, like, even like a fish market now, you put it together, but you like, you know, it's a bit of a canvas stall. Or like,
at best, it's just a roof, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, you know,
you don't really want to trap all those smells in a building, you know, when you're talking about a fish market.
A lot of trouble for a fish market, eh?
Yeah.
It's just these dudes hanging around. Like they're going, this is our building. We like this. We'll have this one, you know?
It's not how, again, you know, they give us this story of, you know, everything just sort of built, you know, like cities, you know, people go there and then, you know, it builds up and you end up with cities. Same with businesses, right? They tell us, oh, you know, people start off small and they get, you know, they start in their garage or their shed and they build it up and then they get a bigger place and they build up, and after a while they've got enough money to build a building like that. But no, when you look back in the past, that's not what happens. They just all start off with buildings like that. They put everything they've got into the building and then hope to hell that it
that's
works.
It. And they're like, oh, it didn't work, so we just
lost everything. Knock it over.
Well, there was a fire.
Yes, of course. That's Port Macquarie, is that right?
That's it, man. Yeah,
Port Macquarie. Yeah,
like this is Australia. Come on.
That's that's where the Opera Bridge is. Yeah, I mean the Harbour Bridge, Opera House. Which one? Harbour Bridge.
Oh, but this was a fort. Yeah, Fort Macquarie. Yeah,
Fort Macquarie. Yeah.
Sorry, but I thought I said Port Macquarie. But there's some interesting things that she did Port Macquarie as well. Yeah, but yeah, mate, it's another castle, and just the you know, the
man-made shorelines.
Yeah.
Yep. Isn't I know it's right. But back then, like, explain that. But this was knocked over in, I think it was still the 1800s. Like, they say that they moved it. They say they knocked it over and turned it in and like moved it like a little bit and turned it to a tram depot. Or do they say they moved it?
Wow.
Maybe they could say they turned it into a tram depot, but there's another big building that was near there, a completely different building. There was another castle and they just turned that into Sydney's first tram depot and tried to say that it was this. It was really weird story. But look at the build out there. And the other thing is, look at the little shed there.
That's what they can build.
That's what they can build.
I love it, man.
Great.
Yeah. Even those boats, they probably didn't build that, mate. They're fucking just, who knows? It's just, it's crazy.
Well, that's another thing. All these big old, you know, the first sort of steel ships, you know, when you look at them, they're these funny, massive, like they're all hull. right?
Yeah.
They look like there's not enough. It's like the buildings. It looks like there's not enough boat, but that's missing the top bit. So I reckon they just found, they just found and they just rebuilt the holes out and stuff, and the machinery on them is all oversized, and even the guns and cannons, all this kind of stuff. If they got them, they're all too big for humans to, it's just silly.
Oh mate, that's just gold. These are oh yeah, okay. I'll just run through these while we're there open, mate. These are just demolished houses in Sydney that they've just demolished. Like, you can see how beautiful they are. You can see in the rear here the towers. It seems like they've all got these big towers, and I reckon they all had greenhouses, mate. I mean, they're all just self-sufficient.
Yeah. Like
every single house. Yeah, they knew how to live.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
that's why we can't. That's why we don't find shops, right?
And this is, again, bro, this is Sydney, like far out Brussels sprout. Just, that's another thing Kelly touched upon. It was a good point the other night, mate, with you guys, that Australia is so easy to rip apart because of the timeline. I've said it before, and it's just so good to hear. It's just
ridiculous.
It's exactly, mate. It's ridiculous. But look at the build of that thing, bro.
I mean, and when was that built? Do we know? 1800s, I'm thinking 1880s or something. They'd probably say.
That's what they'd say. 1851. They love that number.
Yeah, don't they? But I mean, you think back then, even building something like that in Europe, right, in England, it wouldn't be easy. I mean, and then you put that in Australia where you don't have any of the factories, any of the products, any of the skilled trades, or anything.
Exactly. And they built this. Check it out, mate. Like all the Antiquitech here. This is a big fountain, and you've got the water. Obviously, they've got to have pressurized water and like work out all that. So it just doesn't add up.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good thing. A good point is all these fountains. I mean, when did toilets come in? Like flushing toilets and all that. Probably, I'm thinking probably 1920s or 30s or something. But we've got fountains. But we've got proof of massive, massive plumbing systems, 50, 100 years before that.
Yeah, the toilets is an interesting one, mate. There's been the great stench, that building, the great stink.
The great stink. I know, right?
How many rooms is that building? Like thousands or something, and they forgot to build toilets.
A lot.
Like fuck.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? They want us to believe that in these royal palaces where everything was the best of the best, they couldn't put a toilet in, so people were just crapping on the stairwells and in the corners. And
wow. The great stench.
Great stench.
Yeah, man. It's real. Yeah. The great stench. Yeah, it's crazy, mate. This history, I love it. It just never stops. The mind boggles always. This is Clovelly RSL, brother. They've knocked it. Oh no, they've made it into a big childcare centre now. They used to make all these weird old buildings, theatres, and change they call this Art Deco.
That sort of rounded off sort of look,
Yeah, so you've got the colonialism sort of look buildings, and then you've got the heritage sort of stuff. You've got and then we've got what they call the Art Deco. Which mate, this is buried as.
Yeah, look at the side of it. And it's buried down both ways, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's sloping both ways.
And that's a street called Gravel Street just off Clovelly Road. This road goes right down to the beach. And mate, this lines up just down a bit further was that Mandara Towers that I showed you in our last vid, the castle. So, mate, these were big buildings that were laying around, and yeah, they make a lot of them theatres and stuff like that. This is an old pub again in Sydney, but just I think I put this down because of this this thing.
It's
like
in Fremantle, every pub has one of those. That's what you put on a pub, right? A big dome.
Yeah, man. Like I understand why they used to put tiles on the front of the pubs, you know, to stop, like, because people are that intelligent that they just come out vomiting all over the walls. So they decided to put, this is what we're dealing with, you know what I mean? This is the intelligence level of the average person. You have to go into a pub and drink themselves to oblivion and vomit on the walls. So they just tile the walls. Anyway, I just find that fascinating. Yeah, man. But these pubs, wow, pubs, yeah. Pubs, mate. This is a building. Mate, this is in Randwick, another one they call, they've turned into a theatre, Hoyts. It's now just some hall, mate. But as you can see, it's the levels all over the place. It's a real grand old building. And this is something I used to, but the trams are here. You know,
it's just interesting, isn't it, that in all these new cities that they were building buildings, they never got them right, did they? They kept on changing the use of them, like you say, you know, it'd be built as a whatever, a markets, and then it'd be a theatre, and then it'd be a bloody roller skating ring, and then it'd be a Freemason hall or something.
Well, the Freemason, when no one else wants it, the Freemasons just go, we'll have it again. Yeah. You know,
it's free.
Yeah, exactly. There's no rent involved.
We'll take it.
Hey? There's no bond. They don't go down with a bond, a month bond. And
No.
Yeah, bro. I find it, really fucking cool, this, that they turn all these old buildings. We'll turn them into theatres or bowling alleys. Mate, this is something I don't think anyone's touched upon. This is Bondi Beach, mate. And this Roman Greco architecture, like, it's just something that you wouldn't even, I grew up there, I surfed there my whole life, mate, walked past this shit like 1,000 times, billion times, you know, used to play, I've played gigs down there. Been to New Year's heaps there. It's one of my local beaches, you know. So, but again, mate, this sort of architecture, this square, big architecture wall-like thing, you know. And look at this big, huge,
massive gates,
yeah. You know, it's, and
you see that set up.
Don't overlook, mate. But this architecture, I should say, is seen all along the East Coast, bro, on these beaches.
Is that still there?
This is still here, mate. Yeah.
Oh, it's still there. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that cliff as well, like on the other side. It looks pretty built up, doesn't it?
Yeah, and some of the placement of these buildings, man, like when I was in Bondi last, I was just walking around these cliffs up here in the background, and they're literally built on the cliffs, like, you know what I mean, and
into
it's
the
really
cliffs almost.
Yeah, it's really high up there too, man. It's like, fuck, like even today to build them there, it's like, wow, that's like a feat, like, and they've done all that back then. But not only that, this massive, you know, Roman Greco, bloody oversized. And it is oversized. I've been there.
Oh, it's definitely oversized, yeah.
You know?
See all the people on the beach. We've got one at Cottesloe too, which is like an old world building, like the surf club. So they're probably all around Australia too, you know. And
the Easter show, bro. Did you used to have the Easter show? Like you have the Easter show every year and you go to the showgrounds and I just reckon these showgrounds are old world, like Coney Island and all that shit. Luna Park in Sydney. I just like Tamarama, which they call Bondi, like Adventureland or whatever Wonderland it was, Tamarama or Bondi Wonderland. They all had them. And this
what are they? Are they?
Yeah.
Are they machines? Are they like? Or you reckon they're amusement parks originally?
That's it, mate. I'm not.
Machines.
Well, look at this is inside, you know, the walls of this big buildings, man, oversized show, you know, the showgrounds. This is where the showgrounds are, and these oversized building. There it is. That's what I wanted to show you. So this is just never, you know, the cricket ground, they used to say, who built all this shit, man? Like all around the cricket ground, and who built this? Like, seriously. I don't think this is.
How do I explain all those towers? They just don't make any sense at all. It's just unusable, and it takes a lot of materials. And back then, what could they possibly explain them as?
Well, mate, this is where the Horden Pavilion, heaps of bands and stuff used to play here back in the day. And like, yeah, I mean, crazy to think they've built that back then.
It is. I mean, are they all towers for airships?
I think so, man. I think so. You know, I really do. And that's why the vanilla sky comes into everything. You know, vanilla sky's in pretty much every old photo, because, and they've had to hide it because there's probably remnants of something flying in the background, you know?
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, how fast, and, you know, like, airships were supposed to be sort of developed in the late 1800s, like 1890s, the first really crude ones.
Yeah. And
then within 30 years, they've got them, and they're like hotels of the air. And they just blow one up and you can't have many more. It's just like, come on.
Yeah, and then you got to pay it, like, and then they control where you go, and exact, you know, there's no, it's all out of our control then. It's all privatized, mate.
Yeah.
So they do it. It's all part of the control.
Banned when you're traveling.
And back to cars, mate, you know, and that's where cars come into it as well. People think they're so free, mate. Let's go back to trams any day. I would.
Yeah.
No.
I remember back in the 80s, like the trams in Melbourne, they were free. You'd literally just jump on, cruise down the street and jump off. I mean, they're great. And yeah, no cars, no pollution. That's a big gateway.
Yeah, that's Bondi Pavilion, mate, as you can see. I'm just interested in this, you know, the
what is it? Yeah.
Look at the size of it, bro.
Something marble or something. It's huge, isn't it?
And yeah, it's so interesting again. And it reminds me of zoos as well. It's the same shit. This could be like Taronga Zoo, that building.
Yeah. Zoo's another one.
And just fit right in. Taronga Zoo is just all. How about that though? That's interesting. They go, oh yes, this massive fucking tall building. What the hell do we? Giraffes.
The giraffe house.
This other building, what do we do? Elephants. Get the elephants in. That's them. That's that building, sort of. You know.
Yeah, it looks like that. And I mean, because I did one on the Bondi Zoo, and it's just, yeah, there's no story where a lot of these animals came from. You know, it was opened up in the late 1800s.
Taronga Zoo, brother.
Elephants and giraffes there.
Yeah.
So where'd they come from?
Let's have a look. Can you? I might have to do a screen share again.
Yeah, and I can see that. Taronga Zoo.
All right, let's check the Zooski out. Images. Show some. Yeah, this is what I like.
Yeah, that's the entrance, isn't it? Yeah.
So this sort of stuff. Stairs going up.
Yeah.
You know. Pretty awesome stuff. Jesus Christ.
Nice. Yeah, look at the size of it. It's a big old building. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, man, it's everywhere, this architecture. And there, Sydney, Australia, you know, it's very, very interesting, mate. You know.
Yeah, I've got this picture. I'll have to send it to you. Where I can't remember where. But it was of New South Wales, and this lake.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find it. And basically, I got this photo from late 1800s, and it's completely built out like this massive old world city. And I think they just sort of say it was the proposed capital of Sydney, but this was like a fully built out city. And I went and checked it out, and there's nothing there now. So I wonder what's around on the ground, like if they knocked it over. And because it, all these drawings we get, and they say, oh yeah, it's just a drawing, it's a proposed building, or it's a proposed this, a proposed that. I mean, it's just a story. I think, they're just like, oh shit, we can't explain that. So it never actually got built. That didn't get built. And then the ones that do get built, they don't have the plans for them anyway. So
yeah, and they built them in such short time frames. These buildings are just erected in like,
Have
you seen? Yeah, it just makes me laugh. They've built this road from the east coast, on the east coast of Australia, it goes all the way from Sydney to Queensland. Basically, they've been trying to build it for nearly 10 years now. One road with all the modern technology in that.
Yeah, 10 years.
And it's laughable, mate. That's what I touched upon last week. All these roads they've built and dug out their cliffs, and like, oh man, horse and cart.
Yeah, they can't. They just. I was looking at St. Louis Fair, which was 1904. I think they ran it.
Yep.
1,500 buildings, and one of them had 20 acres under its roof, like a 20-acre building, built in 3 years. 1,500 buildings. Man. And that's not even taking into account the canals and the all the other stuff all the plumbing and that. I mean, it's just stupid.
Absolutely stupid
buildings.
Yeah,
and of course half of them were massive, old world buildings. So it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, mate. And the world fairs, these world fairs, they've started to destroy all the architecture. We've got all these world wars, they're destroying architecture. That's what it's all about.
Oh, here you go. I found this picture. It's called Feral River. Hang on a sec. Check this out. Let's see if I can share.
Yeah, man, hit me.
Can you allow me to share?
Oh, yep. I got it.
That get a notification.
To here, allow to record local files. Is that it?
No, allow to share. You didn't get a
share. That's weird.
It says host disabled. What happens when you hit share? Do you get anything come up?
I get it all come up, that display, and like desktop one, whiteboard, da da da.
Is it under participants? Participants.
Let me have a look, brother. Participants. More. Bang. Participants. And more. Let's go more. Stop video. Allow to record local files. Allow to multi-pen.
Multi-pen.
Oh.
That might be it.
Anyway, try that.
Let's see. Not host disabled participant screen sharing.
We've had this trouble before.
We have,
yeah, that was annoying.
It keeps bloody reverting. Oops. Video settings, maybe it's under their accessibility. Participant video.
Did that do
if you go
video?
You can under accessibility, under video settings.
Yeah, down to share screen.
It's got screen sharing started, stopped by participant. Is that it?
I've got share application, share individual windows, share all windows from an application. When I share,
are they all ticked or down? I think it's got participant at the bottom. Screen sharing started, stopped by a participant.
Oh, this is annoying, man. Sorry, bro. Always.
Public in meeting. God, there's heat. Oh my God, there's a lot of bloody.
This sucks.
Role change. The role change. Oh, hang on. Can you make me?
Sorry about it, dudes.
That's all right. Manage meeting. Merge to meeting.
Choose virtual background pin. Hide that. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is annoying. We had it.
OBS. It's got to be
More
recording.
You've got permission to record. So I'll see that. Make a host. I'll try to make you a host.
Yeah, if you do that, I think it'll probably work.
Go change host.
Okay, now I'm the host. All right, here we go.
You're the hostess.
Host with the mostest.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. That was a bit annoying. Yeah, this Zoom, it's just that one setting we've had a little bit of problem with.
Let me just. Okay. Oh, wait, what are you doing? Share. Where is it? God, now it's not going to share with me. If I do that.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see that?
Yep.
You can see that picture. So this is Archives Office of New South Wales. And down the bottom here, it says the federal city Lake George from 1920. And it says view from the Governor General's residence. So that's Lake George in New South Wales, apparently.
Wow.
This up here.
Jeez, this looks like fairyland, brother.
Doesn't it?
Oh.
And so all I could find is that said that, oh no, this is just like a proposal, right? Because I guess when you're going to build you just propose the whole city, right? Look at all these towers. But down here it says view from the Governor General's residence. Now you don't write. I mean, I suppose you could, but
that's a great find, bro. No, well, mate, we know that it was there because, like, for example, I just found a castle in Clovelly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like these were here. And bro, I've seen those same photos, like these same buildings up around Oxford Street in Sydney, near Centennial Park and stuff up there. There's some really old photos with that exact where your marker is there, exactly like those Roman Greco columns. Yeah. And it's insane.
And look at the size of that tower, man.
Man, that is.
Look at this.
Huge. Look at. So they proposed to build that. What a
proposed, yeah. Like, what would you propose? Like, what's the use of these towers? Like, in the new colony, when you're proposing and you want to get the job, you're not going to be just like, oh yeah, we just build all these unnecessary stuff. But so that's Lake George in New South Wales. So if you're ever out that way, go and have a look around, because I had a bit of a look on Google Earth, and like I said, there's nothing there.
Wow.
So I'm wondering if it's just covered in bricks and bits of old buildings,
That's cool, man. That is a find.
Yeah,
think of that. This week we've stumbled across that. I've stumbled across that. What was it? A 1627 photo.
Yeah.
Look at this.
This is something. Don't know what it is. Something from Sydney. Dirt roads, of course. I don't know what's in this file.
That looked like the army barracks in Sydney. That. They've got
it's got this up here, like the Royal Seal, so it could be.
It looks like that. It reminds me of, mate, because I know it so well, Sydney. it doesn't, I can pick most points pretty easily.
That's the Governor General's residence, isn't it?
Look at that.
It's definitely a castle. It's a how do you like combine castle and cathedral into one word? Because look at this. Look at this cathedral window. It's a cathedral. Is that right?
Cathedral.
I know it sounds like it should be easy, but it's not. And this kind of stuff, you know, look at that.
Man. Yeah, that's all around Sydney, man. And like I said, you guys are talking around underground tunnels. Mate, remember I told you that story about oh yeah, we built these underground tunnels for the sailors when they're drunk.
Yeah, the sailors when they're drunk.
Like, wow. Yeah. Just build the balconies, take that balcony off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then it could be a shop. You know, you see those shops with this angled sort of front on them. It could just be like a little boutique shop.
Yeah.
Out the balcony. You know, and even this down here, it looks like they're a bit of a facade, doesn't it? It doesn't look like a real strong wall. It looks like just they've changed the look of it, and we've got red brick here.
Yeah.
That's just, oh, there we go. That's Sydney as well. Bit of a level difference.
Wow. That's what we're talking, man. We're talking big, like we're pretty buried.
Yeah. That's, I mean, what's that? That's 20 foot.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is again, right? You know, imagine the ridiculousness of this story that you would build I mean, that is a massive building. That is huge. And look how close it is to this edge where everything falls apart. You're telling me the foundation for that's not going to come out, you know, what, 100 foot off the building or something? Of course it is. So this picture just doesn't make sense, really, when you think about it.
None of it.
But no, he's, you know, trashing some old houses.
Sydney. Yeah, I've seen. That's cool. Just
isn't it?
Down, yep. And look at all the kids in the street. Look at the dirt road.
Mud.
Look at that.
And look down this side. It's one big old world building, brick with its lamppost. And look on the other side, right? It's just bits of wood and tin just sort of nailed together.
That's what we could build. We should be so.
That's what we could build. So it's
just that's actually a good comparison there, bro. Look, that's what they could build, and that's
what we can build. That's what we can build.
Them and us, them and us.
And everyone wants the good stuff. They're on this side. I want this. I don't want this crap that we can build. But and look at the background. There's just stuff everywhere. But of course, you know, most of the buildings are probably empty, right? Because you've got to keep the poor people on the street. What's this city of Sydney? Got a year, 1888, September 3rd.
Ah, yeah, that's the 100-year.
Oh, yeah, it would be. So, I mean, there's no opera house or bridge. A lot of industry, though, isn't there, for 1883? Look at it all, like massive. Look at the build out. Like, that's 100 years, right? 100 years.
Town hall.
Wow. And they've built, like, because every building here is bloody 6 stories.
Yeah.
And they're mud flooders.
Yeah, elevators. It's an interesting one. Lifts.
Lifts, yeah. They kind of needed to bring them back in just to explain, you know, height, I guess, how people got up and down these buildings. And of course that was
that's cool.
That's the end of that file. Introduced at a World's Fair as well, in the Eiffel Tower. Elevators. And I think they had them before, but the dude rode it in the Eiffel Tower at the World's Fair to prove that they were safe. And then after that, everyone had them. Elevators everywhere.
When I was in Italy, bro, some of the elevator, like I wasn't on, like I was a flatty at that stage, but Tartaria wasn't out then. And yeah, these some of these lifts in these buildings, mate, they're so beautiful and they still work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Those
man.
old ones with the little gates, sort of like the
Exactly, mate. They're not hundreds of years old. They're old.
Yeah. And they worked and they still work.
That's
You know,
it. They
built
still
properly,
work.
built well, and everything was built to last. That's why it's so hard to knock all this stuff down, right? And they've been trying, but I mean, some of the buildings, like was it Penn Station in New York, it had walls that were like 5 feet thick or something, and they had to like invent machinery just to knock it over.
Wow.
I mean, so you've got to ask yourself the question: how much would it cost to knock one of these buildings over? And then you've got to rebuild something less. I mean, there's a reason they're knocking them down, right? It's
Mate,
not
they've
to
got
do.
their livelihood to worry about, you know. And
Yeah,
mate, it's coming out.
yeah.
know,
Once they get discovered, everyone will understand they just stole all the wealth.
yeah.
They don't all these buildings that they say they own and they make us pay rent for, and they say they own the land and we got to pay for it. They're just a bunch of criminals.
I always thought it was, yeah. Sorry, bro.
No, you're right.
I was just saying, yeah, I've always thought it was weird, mate, like the royal family and all that shit from a young age. Like, you know, the Queen, and people go, oh, do you love the, you know, are you a fan of the Queen? You know, my mum was a hairdresser. I was always in the hairdressing salon. I was always hanging around old women.
I can.
You know, but they love the Queen. And yeah, just that, you know, I
never understood it either. Because we're in Australia too, right? And I just never got the Queen ever. But my mum was, you know, she's Australian, but she was always, oh, I love the Queen. And I'd be like, why?
Yeah.
Oh, she does so much good. And I'd be like, what? Oh, she just does so much good for people. And I'm like, what does she do that's good for? And I could never get an answer.
No.
Oh no, she's you know, it's just, oh, she's just so nice. And it's like,
she's a lovely puppet.
She's a lovely puppet. I mean, look at the castle she lives in, and you know, look at all those hundreds open rooms, you know, spare rooms that she doesn't give to homeless people. She's just such a nice person.
You could solve poverty in one day.
Yeah.
You know,
like literally, she has castles that she'll stay at for a couple of weeks a year, and they're empty for the rest. Yeah, exactly. They could house fucking hundreds of families.
Yeah.
So
I don't get not just that, but just like you're looking at like what NASA gets 52 million a day, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, she'd be getting paid.
You know,
yeah,
just the royal. That's what I'm saying. They've got enough money.
She gets all a lot of the land tax.
Yeah,
you know, from Commonwealth countries like Australia, we pay land tax. A lot of that goes to the Queen because she says, "Well, I own the land." Right. So it's like the globe, right? I think it's just indoctrinated because we in Australia we get taught of that when we're little in school. You get shown photos of the Queen. Oh, this is the Queen and the Queen, and she rules you, and you know
it's all indoctrinated, bro. Hey, like everything, you know, cowboys and Indians. I remember chasing my mate around the park. You know, do you want to be the cowboy? No, I want to be. No one ever wanted to be. No offense, but no one wanted to be the Indian. I always wanted to be the cowboy because you get to shoot them.
Yeah. Because you always lose, right?
You know what I mean? It's like, nah, man, you be the Indian, and then I'll be the cow. Like, I'll be the Indian next time. And then
you're the Indian, you can't shoot me.
But yeah,
that whole narrative,
all narrative,
whole narrative, of cowboys and Indians.
Yep,
it's all fake. All this stuff about, you know, and how many movies and stuff were there? It's just so hardly pushed. It was.
Yeah, look at all through Hollywood, the trouble they've gone with the westerns and shit like that. You know, then you go caveman, and then the same deal, the trouble they've tried to, the shit they have to put out, you know, Jurassic Park and Encino Man or California Man, whichever side of the, you know, they called it two different movies. But
they changed the name, did they? Yeah, right.
Mate, I don't know if it's part of that Mandela effect, but yeah, there's Encino
California
Man. Yeah, it's one title's called Encino Man and another one's called California Man.
Come on, man. Even I know Encino's in California. Well, that's stupid. Bloody hell. Do you know what I saw the other day, just to get pretty off topic, is a new Mandela effect, and I haven't done the search yet, but I've seen the footage.
Yep.
Star Wars Christmas special. And I'm not kidding you, Princess Leia starts singing Christmas carols.
Wow.
I'm not shitting you. I've seen it. I've got to do a search for the footage, but apparently, yeah, Star Wars did a Christmas special, like a movie, a Christmas special. Star Wars doesn't even make sense.
Fuck's sake. How old is this thing?
Like, it's original cast.
No.
So I haven't checked the dates, but yeah, late 70s. It's got, you know, Luke and Han and Leia from when they all look like from the original.
Mm.
Weird.
What, they just hold on
when
to
she
it.
starts breaking out into song, it's freaky.
Mate, how is it if you don't, people just can't handle Star Wars being taken away from them? You know, it's all that same shit. You know, it's all a lie, and they just can't handle. But mate, I love Star Wars. Well,
you can love it. It's a story though. It's just made up.
Oh, dude, yeah, man, fucking Star Wars. I used to love. I never really got into Star Wars or Star Trek. Yeah, it was. I think I used to love sci-fi movies. You know.
I used to love sci-fi.
Yeah, sci-fi. That was the first thing I was walking to a video shop back the old days. And mate, every time I go into a video shop, I needed to break wind. It's really bizarre. So I'm like, so every time I just sort of plant it as well and then walk away. That was a good old time. I don't know what it was, mate. It was just my body was, I don't know if it was in the aircon or whatever.
Nervous.
No excitement about the movie I was about to watch. You know?
Isn't it bizarre though? We used to spend hours just walking around looking at titles like of what you're going to get.
Yeah. Just 2 for 1 deal. You know, Mum, can I?
Yeah.
The weeklies.
Get a week and overnight and get a weekly, for $1 a week.
Yeah, no, you can only have a weekly. You're not having any release.
You always forget to take them back and you end up owing fucking $20.
Every video shop in Sydney I owe money to.
I know, I think they gave up on that at the end. They're just like, just bring it back. Just give us it back. Just keep the money. Give us our tape.
Just bring it back.
Because that's what happened. As soon as you get a bill, it's like, oh fuck, I'm not taking that back. I want money. Yeah. Or you just go in and you could do like the nightly return though, with the hole in the wall. You sort of run up and chuck it in and run away. You're not getting my money, you buggers.
That's it. Oh, the good old days, mate. Fucking classic. But yeah, it sort of still had that nostalgia though to it. It was the whole experience of going to the video shop, and you know, I remember when Mum and Dad were like, we're just sitting there, and they were like, we're going to get a video player, and we were like, I was the youngest, and we're just like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember the first video we all sat around and watched as a family, you know, and it was some thriller or something, you know, and I'm like 9.
Yeah,
yeah, the good old days, man. Far out, classic.
Yeah. We had a remote control that you had to plug in. That was awesome. It kind of defeats the purpose, but you know, why not?
Yeah, they always end up just rooted because the cord gets like kicked and, you know, pulled off. Yeah, it's always the way, mate. And then and then you get the video. I've got a TV here in my room, and I've got 2 remotes that don't work for it. I've got to hook up to a PlayStation now. One of the kids is giving me a PlayStation. Now the remote doesn't work. So it's pretty funny, mate. So that's another reason I just sit here on the phone looking at photos all night, mate, because it's either, you know,
crap.
Just research. But yeah, all the shit, mate. If I ever watch a little bit of like Netflix or that Prime Video, I think my son's got, which I'll check his one out. Like, mate, I can't even find anything. I sit
I'm
there
the same.
trying to find something.
You do. You just literally spend 10 minutes and you think, hang on, I'm going through this for the third time. There's nothing here. I'm going to do
suggestions for Gaz. I'm like,
just nothing.
Nothing, bro. It's
like I literally like, yeah, if I'm really bored, I don't want to watch something. I'm just like, oh, fuck it, I'll just find an old martial arts movies from the 80s, watch a bit of Van Damme or something.
Yeah, I'm like that, mate. I've got Back to the Future, bro. Back to the Future Part 1 and 2. I can just put on, and I'm just saying, I know every word. But did you become the physical type? And I know you watch Back to the Future with me, like it starts off, all the kids laugh, they start laughing at first. Oh, Dad knows every word. You know,
like,
halfway through it, they're like,
we're trying to enjoy the movie. Shut up. This bit, you'll love this bit, kids. Shut up, Dad.
I'm like in their ear. So good. But yeah, far out. And yeah, I've got a couple of go-tos, mate. The Hateful Eight. Geez, that was a good movie. I don't know if you've seen that. I really enjoyed that. The Hateful Eight. Yeah, that's one of those
Charles Bronson and all those people. Oh, it's Tarantino.
Yeah, it's a real wow, it's very gory. And by the end of it, the final scene's out of control. Like, geez, wow. Yeah, great cast. You know, but they're casting their spells. Thanks, guys. And again, a false narrative. So this is the Hateful Eight. It's all cowboys back in.
Okay. Back in this, 1800s.
1800s, and it's there's 8 people who basically get caught in a house. But mate, yeah, it's all around that narrative of the.
It is. Young Guns, but Tarantino also did that one Django, which was all about
Django again,
the South, that kind of time period, and slave owners and that, like instilling that.
Yeah.
So these people, these people that can't get big, they're all there to put out a narrative.
Yeah,
they can sort of play around, but it's like, tell people, the Wild West was true, and we'll fund your movie. Okay.
That's it. Don't make a movie about this stuff behind us, reality.
No. Get out there and
total bullshit. All of it.
The authors, right? Authority of the authors.
Yeah.
And I was thinking today, like in school, right? Like, where do you learn? Classroom. Right? You gotta know your class, gotta split everyone up into a different class, right? It's just indoctrination, man. So
it's time, bro.
Class. It's just bizarre.
And all the schools, they look like prisons. I mean, why don't you make nice schools, and why don't they make them really?
They knocked them all over. That's the problem. They knocked them all over. They used to be nice, big old world buildings.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, 100%, bro.
There's one in Texas, the high school of Texas, and it looks like the White House, like literally. Yep. It's massive. And it looks like the White House.
Mate, my old school, Waverley College in Sydney, that whole thing, it's called Our Lady's Mount, is like the Virtus Solus Nobilitat or something is the motto. It means Our Lady's Mount in Latin. And mate, it's the highest point in Sydney, Waverley. And and it's sort of just very interesting because the build, like now, I look back to it now and they're all buried, man. There's and real, always big drastic staircases up throughout the schools to get to other levels and to get to the, all this sort of jazz, man. It's all higgledy-piggledy all over the shop. It's insane. It's interesting.
Yeah, right. Built for bigger people, maybe, and they had to change all the levels on the inside to.
100%. That's an interesting one too, bro. That Bros of Decay just put out, and I think it was Bros of Decay I was watching last night, and it was pretty late at this stage. And but mate, it's interesting how if the levels don't work out, they just build the floors, and then they just, they just build the fake floors. They're literally floating floors.
Yeah.
And this Bros of Decay has gone into a building. And he's like, mate, the floor's gone through, but it's gone, none of it makes sense, mate. It's like, you can see it's Yeah, it's crazy. It's like a
all retrofitted.
Yeah, exactly, bro. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, that's it. All these buildings, they all have wooden floors. So they can change them, they can put them where they, you know, did they have floors at all in the beginning? Who knows? Might have just been like really big.
Wow.
That we just don't know.
Yeah, we just don't know so much. And it just continues, bro, more and more. The digging it deep. That's the great thing about what we do, is it's just every day there's something new. Every week we stumble across something, you know. You know, I enjoyed that vid you did, mate, just on Tartaria, like the short one, just explaining it briefly. That was cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
that's actually cut. That's actually cut from Syncretism Society, which I'm on, guys. Go check out Syncretism Society with Santos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got, I think, 30 videos up there. So I thought, oh,
great, mate. How's that going?
Cuts.
Tell us about Syncretism Society, mate. So what are you're doing? Like
I'm putting up, I'm doing like 2 videos a week basically. So there's 30 vids up there. And it's just an online site. It's a membership site because there's, oh God, they've got lots of creators on there now. They've got everything. They got, you know, syncretism and yoga and health and, you know, how to awakening and spiritual stuff and history and obviously astrotheology, just all the old world, you know, like mystery school kind of topics.
Fantastic.
Health and everything. So yeah, and I think it's $50 a month. So go and join. And obviously if you can't, but you really want to get there, you can always, you know, write them a letter and will listen to you if you want to join for free. So I mean, but they do need to make money. But it's another thing that people tend to get sort of annoyed with at the moment for some reason is, you know, everyone, you know, if you want to make money off something, people tend to think all this stuff should be free. But then they want the best of everything, right? They want the best videos. They want all this stuff. But yeah. So if that's the way you're going, you've got to understand it. If you're not prepared to give energy and value, then you don't deserve to receive any energy or value. That's just it. Everything's an exchange. So yeah. I mean, if you can afford it. Get out there and. Because it's the other thing is you got to support what you want, right? I mean, everyone who says this, they're all paying taxes, right? All right.
Yeah.
I guarantee all these people who get general, that should be free. I bet you're paying taxes. So, you know, like you got to look at where your money's going. We're going into a new way of doing things. So put your money where you want it, into things that you like, or else they'll disappear.
Yeah, and also interesting point about kids, mate. And people don't know what to do with kids with this ridiculous system that we're in, and the bullshit schools that we've got set up to poison our children's minds. So why not get your kids involved in Syncretism Society? I look at that as an investment. $50 a month to get your kids educated.
That's less than going to see a movie, right? People complain, and then they'd buy a pizza for $20.
And mate, not only that, the whole family is on the same path. So
exactly.
You know, and that's what you want. I've got new kids. I've got one kid in particular at the moment who's off the path, and it's very difficult, mate. They don't eat. They're not eating right. So everything's out of whack. And so for someone like me, it's very difficult to see and watch, you know. But yeah, it all comes back down to, you know, diet. I've said this a few times in my vids, mate, you know, diet, and we're electrical, we're made of atoms. It's where we get the term anatomy, you know, so we must, and we're living in an electromagnetic system, you know, and this is what people have got to realize to take care of. See, I think, mate, 90% of people are mentally ill. Like, I think that's what we're dealing with, brother. Like, that's probably the percentage rate that we're dealing with. And so it's very different. Yeah, you know, I find it very difficult to communicate with most people. It's always such mind-numbing conversations, mate. And I've got to put on my stupid hat every time I speak to someone, you know, and careful what you say. It's like, It's crazy, mate. It's like, why have I got to fucking be careful what I say? I don't talk about that, like the here, or or you start to say something, you see someone roll their eyes, like, oh God. It's like,
does he think different to me?
Yeah,
it's yeah, it's all programming, isn't it? Like, I don't know, these people are crazy, man.
Fuck,
I mean, they want us to be confused, but it's not that confusing. I mean, it's confusing to try and follow them and work out their crap. But if you just go, it's all bullshit, start thinking, it's not that confusing, really. It's only they're confusing.
And you take your life back, mate. Like, I just think we've all given to these ass wipes for so long. Take it back. Like, eat well. Yeah, man. Like we've touched upon before, like lollies. We're giving our kids, you've been a good boy, have a bag of lollies. Like, what the fuck?
I know.
And death. Boiled death with some boiled sugar, and we'll mix it up and put some colouring in, Tommy, and have like, because you've been a good boy. It's crazy, mate. So yeah, this whole system, you wonder why people are mentally ill. Fucking hell. And then then they're going to doctors for advice, and they're giving them antidepressants and fucking pills and drugs, and it's like none of them will say, how much exercise do you do, how much do you sleep, what are your food, what are you eating?
No, they get like three months or something course in nutrition when you become a doctor. It's like nothing. I think it's like 18 hours or something out of a fucking 6-year degree.
Wow.
It's fucking stupid. So these people don't know what they're talking about. And that's the worst thing is they think they do. They're so indoctrinated and stupid that they don't understand that.
That's it, brother. Repeaters.
I mean, how drugs just don't make sense. If we needed them, we wouldn't have made it here, right? If we were these sick beings that needed bloody doctors and drugs and that, or we'd all die. Well, we would have died before we invented the doctors and the drugs, wouldn't we? So the whole concept is just stupid that you need anything more than what you were given by God to be healthy. Everything's here. Yeah,
man. And what I crack up, bro, is the term spray-free. Spray-free food. Like, you go and buy your veggies and it says spray-free. It's like, what the fuck? Why isn't that? Why is that a fucking thing? I just don't get it. Spray-free. So of course I'm buy spray-free, like fucking, but why is it a thing?
What does that mean?
Everything.
You haven't asked me for the last 20 years if you could spray crap on it, but now you're telling me that you're not. No,
but look, what I'm saying, man, everything should be spray-free.
Exactly.
There shouldn't be, like, you've got the poison veggies. Here's the poison.
Fruit and vegetables, and then like poison corner.
But that's exactly it. And again, mate, I've had a family member say to me, mate, why do you spend so much money on food? Just get the cheap stuff. Don't buy organic.
But that's what you become, right? You become what you put in your body.
Yeah, man.
It's like watching telly, It's like, why do you read books and research? You could just watch telly if you want your mind to work. Well, I suppose you could. Yeah. But you're going to end up a stupid dickhead. So, it's all a choice. These same people that say, oh, just eat whatever you want now. Oh, come on, it's cheaper. They're the ones who are going to be complaining that they're ill in 20 years and asking someone else to fix their problem. And
right. Have you ever been to those bloody things on the motorways, man? Like, you see it in all fast food restaurants, but the type of human that is lining up for like KFC at one of those motor stops, like off the side of a highway.
Yeah.
Like aliens, mate. I don't know where they've come from. What they're the weirdest types. It's like when you go to,
they attached to like servos, are they? Or all
that sort of stuff. It's the same. I think
we've got a few just starting to pop up over here.
So same sort of clientele you get at Red Rooster or McDonald's or whatever, mate. Just disgusting. Oh, fucking hell.
They're out there.
But yeah, mate, I guess, is there anything else, anything we wanted to get across today to the peeps, bro, besides, you know, just a good old yarn?
That's a good old yarn again, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah. Maybe we'll have to get a topic for next time, but yeah, it's just more, you know, it's just keep your eyes open and look at what's around, you know, and don't buy the story, because when as soon as you're willing to challenge the story, you don't have to say it's all false, but as soon as you're willing to say, well, maybe it's crap, you'll start to see everything, and it won't be long before you're like, oh my God, it's all a lie. It's just that first step you got to take, and start looking, just share this around to us, share this information, because this is the best way to wake people up.
Yeah,
you know, it's not scary. They don't have to learn about, you know, Satanists and all this bad stuff that goes on. They can just go, wow, these people are just lying to us, and good way to wake people up.
And it's a great, like, the architecture and all the technology is so awesome to appreciate, you know, and admire what we can be, mate. You know, if we're not, you know, if we're bored, if we wake up in the day and it's like, fuck, what I want to be today, I want to just be, and we'll catch up with, you know, my fellow beers, and we'll discuss what we're going to do for the day. You know, like these jobs, mate, you know. Yeah, the wise old man is gone, brother. It's sad to see. I was walking through the park today with my missus. We often go up the botanical gardens. Mate, all old men are fucked. They can't talk. They can hardly walk. Their missus has got more sense. They've, you know, well, I know from my dad, it's all the same, mate. It's not an accident. They're getting these guys jabbed up. They're all getting their flu jabs every year. They're eating shit food. They're eating the tap water. They had a shit diet their whole life, you know, because it's a diet. It says it in the word. If you're ever going to have a diet, you're going to die.
You know? Yeah. I see them all the time. It's just sad, but
yeah,
there's not much we can do. We can just be, you know, do the best we can and just be the change you want to see, influence people.
That's it.
You know, they've had their choice.
I've always thought about wisdom teeth. That's an interesting one that we all like. I've got mine, right, and
I've got mine. Yeah.
All this shit. Oh, your wisdom teeth have got to come through. It's going to ruin your bite.
My sister got hers taken out, and she had braces and all types of stuff, and I had nothing. I think they spent all the money on her because it's not cheap doing all that. But I've never had anything, and I got no problems.
Mate, I had braces for 6 years or something, but yeah, that's a different sort of thing. But yeah, yeah, man. The one is going back to the sea. That I think it's all connected.
Well, because braces are to do with the way that your teeth grow, right? If you left it, you know, it might just take a few years while we mature, and it might all go a bit funny. But then if you leave it to grow to what it's supposed to be, I'm sure it's you know, I mean, this is the whole thing, right? That comes back to them telling us, you know, you're broken. So even your genetics, they can't even grow your teeth right. Geez, you're so broken. Come here and we will fix you. Come on, let man fix your creation. I mean, it's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, and you get that connection just gets reefed out of your head. That's what I think it's partly involved with the wise old men, mate, because that's where part of the wisdom, you know, and they're telling you the wisdom tooth, you know, they're taking the wisdom away. And, you know, just,
hair too, man. You have to grow your hair. Like all the old philosophers had long hair, right? All of them.
I think you're right, mate. But
now all these old men have short hair, and that could literally be a connection, you know, like in Avatar.
Mate, I've tried. I keep trying to grow my hair. I got the beard out there for a bit, and then, mate, it just gets to the point where it's the side bits that
you've got to go through that 2 or 3 months where it's just crap because it just hangs in your face, and so then when you get past there, you just vow to never cut your hair again.
That's it, bro. I'm sort of getting there. It's like if you ever shaved your head, mate. Every time I've shaved my head, I'm like,
fighting work, man.
Sorry?
So them fighting words, don't say that.
Yeah.
Shave your head.
Yeah.
Oh,
don't do that to him, man.
jeez. Now,
Yeah, man. I used to be
I think I just got
a
a weird
bald.
shaved
I
head.
used to shave my head. Yeah. But it was all part of again, mate, ego. See, at that time I owned a pub. I was actually, if I'm honest with myself, probably more frightened of like it was always felt like I was going to get in a fight, like because I was the landlord. And
Yeah.
you get drunk guys all the time. So I'd, shave the head, look tough.
Russell Crowe, man. Oh, romper stomping guy. Like Russell Crowe.
Yeah, bro. And back then I was about 120 kilo, mate. I used to pump weights. Yeah, it was out of fashion. Thought it was cool,
Yeah. Yeah, I see.
But yeah, things change, mate. Now I just love, looking after my body, but nothing extreme. We don't have to be extremists, mate. People, you've got to always do things that you can stick to. See, like, mate, I've done a bit of like men's sort of coaching and stuff. I've been through a lot. I try to help people where I can with goals, all that sort of stuff, and setting themselves some goals and getting out of trouble and finding the light, But yeah, that well, and made man, funny. I'll digress, but I bumped into this guy at the park the other day, bro. It's probably 65-year-old legend walking through the park, open-minded, great conversations, and wow, how refreshing. He said to me, "Where have all the men gone?" I was like, "Fuck, mate, did you just say that? I've been saying that for yonks." And he's like, "Yeah, it's all part of it, mate. They've been, for demasculating
estrogen in the food."
Yeah, and yeah, it's funny, mate. Even guys think, well, I just love it when you're out, you see guys, big tough guys, and they've got masks on. Just like, wow.
I know, right? They're suddenly like pathetic. Like I can't, but when I see these and dudes with tats and stuff, and their big beards and their fucking Harley Davidson t-shirt and their little mask, I just stare at them until they look at me and they know what I'm thinking about them. Because I mean, seriously, guys.
Yeah, man. I saw this guy. He had a mask on, bro, and it said "tough motherfucker" right on his mask. And he's in front of, and he was like, yeah, bro. And he's like what you said, a big, like, a tattered, one of those tattered guys up, thought he was tough, had, tough motherfucker like this, right? And I couldn't help it, bro.
What'd you say?
I just looked at him and I'm like buzzing, mate. And like I'm like, 95 kilo, like I'm 6'2", I'm not a little dude. And so I look at him and I'm just going, "Oh, tough motherfucker, are you? Tough motherfucker." Right. And dude, this guy, he wasn't very tough because I followed him out. I followed him out of IGA going, "You're a tough motherfucker, tough mother." And he didn't want a bar of it. He just like couldn't get back to his car quick enough, So any of these, it's like, the dogs when you got them on a lead and they're so tough. You get a dog off its lead and like,
take a step towards it and runs away. Yeah.
These tough guys, man.
Yeah, there's not many, and I went into a survey the other day and there was two, like there was one dude in there without a mask, and as I walked out, another one was walking in. I was like, yeah, so hey, give the old fucking fist pump and that. And then the next day I went to the shop, said, yeah, he didn't see one.
Yeah.
I think actually on the way out, because I was in a shopping centre, I saw one guy walking with a mate who had a mask on, but he didn't. He sort of saw me and he sort of elbowed his mate and he went, see, sort of pointed me out, like, see, no, you don't have to wear a mask. But the worst is these fathers, right, with their kids, and they're all masked up, like a little masked up little family.
My God.
It's beyond me how you could ever do that to your child and try and like we're supposed to teach our children what's right and to love themselves, and that's just disgusting. So all the
bro.
Not going to be many men left on in this realm in a few years, right? There's not going to be many of us.
No, man. And how about sperm?
I was just going to say, mate, we're going to be millionaires, right?
Well, I reckon, man. I reckon there's going to be plenty of women out there that want, man, no, we're not silly, you know, not a bad
pure
sort.
blood sperm.
You know, good, you know, I'll just get my missus to do it. You know, as in, you can do the whole procedure, the milking.
We just end up like cows, mate.
But mate, that's one thing
to
quickly tub on, like, you know, the importance of, as you know, I touched upon your, you know, messages the other night, bro, that, you know, this non-ejaculation sex, you know, and how awesome it is. And, you know, I can't speak highly enough of it. For years, bro, we're taught in Hollywood, you watch the movies, fuck, they go down for the growl. The woman goes on him, he does that bit, you know, and then they do a bit of missionary and then and then that's it. So my whole life, that's what that's what we do. We like go down to they on you, and then you drop your load and it's all over. And then you go to sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's not the way it's supposed to be. So you want to.
So is it tantric? Is that where it comes from?
It's definitely, that's part of it. But mate, what we sort of do is it's all about control, see, because men, you don't shit your pants, do you? You know what I mean? Men, if I piss my pants, everyone would look at me funny. You know, it's in the world of lovemaking, mate. But just men aren't men, they're boys. So all this knowledge, they're all watching porn, jerking off, jerking themselves to. And look, mate, I was there. I had the T-shirt. It said wanker. You know what I mean? Like I had all the different styles. You know, the octopus. There's all. We're not going to get disgusting, but mate, you know, that I've come a long way, and guys, we all can, you know, and just this, what you can have between you and your partner is so much more. And mate, it's like controlling it. So what it does is you can actually have that same pleasure, and it's so, just bring yourself, we sort of rate it. We go sort of where you're at, you know, 7 or 8, whatever. And we just sort of stay around there, you know, and you want to be there. And then you've only, like, we generally, you know, there's always so much going on, but mate, what happens when you stop, you have this connection all day and all till you next time you hook up. So rather than cut that tie, you know what I mean, where guys are, you make love with your wife or your partner, and you know, you drop your bundle and yeah, you go to sleep, you fuck pretty much for the rest of the day, or at night or whatever, but it stops that and it creates this real awesome.
And it's just willpower pretty much, is it?
Yeah, man, it is. And control, like, it takes a while to practice. And then once you get your head around that thing about, because you're so programmed to think that you need to, you know, you need to finish, you know, or it's not finished, or you see in the movies, you know, I didn't finish.
Yeah.
But, you know, you know, they're telling us in the movies, you know, like, so, but yeah, bro, it's a real, and I can't speak highly of it enough. If anyone has any questions, message me. You know, we're all, I'm in the learning, but you know.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll have to do a show on it. Let us know, guys. Do you want us to do a bit of a show, and we can
do a bit of
get into it? We might have to put it up on BitChute or somewhere else because I don't like it, but yeah, we can go into that because I know Santos is into it and a few other people, and
yeah, man,
it's definitely a topic that's been coming up in the last sort of year or so. So
yeah, guys, you can do it. And I've got one of my sons, his mate didn't jerk off. I don't know how long it's been now, but it's like 60 days for a young kid. And he was like, I asked him, so what was it like, mate? He goes, oh, the first week's hard. And then the second week, he goes, mate, he goes, after a month, he goes, I got so much energy. He's like, you know, I think clearer. I sleep better. Like everything, mate. Like, it's weird, you know, because we're taught, you know, that if you don't jizz them, it'll block it all up. You got to get rid of it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll have to broach that topic in a future video, I think.
Yeah, bro. I didn't mean to take too far left or be a bit gross or a bit childish. I can be a bit childish at times.
No. I've actually had a few questions about it recently because we sort of touched on it a couple of videos back. So
yeah. Cool, man. Well, let's look at maybe doing a video on that next, and I'll do a bit of research.
Oh, yeah, you get your stuff, and I'll sit here and ask stupid questions. I guess.
Yeah, it sounds good, bro.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Well, even if you want to do it, it's up to you, mate. We can do it on my show. We can do it on yours. If you want to do one where I can come to Auto,
whatever. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Whatever works, man. And you can just ask me questions, and we can whatever. Yeah. I'm open to.
We can call it to all you wankers out there.
That's it, bro. And they are.
They are.
You know?
They are programmed wankers.
That's program wankers, and yeah, just jerking themselves to death.
They're a jerk. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny that we use those words? You're a wanker. You're a jerk.
Yeah. Tosser.
Tosser. You're a tosser.
Yeah.
They're telling us.
There's a few good ones. Yeah, they're definitely dehydrating us, and you know, we're you know, and just go back to the tree of life, mate. Christmas time, we celebrate, you know, the Polaris at the top of the tree.
Yeah.
Santa coming down the chimney is the claustrum coming down the spinal cord, where we get Santa Claus from, and he's giving out his presents. And that's where the story, yeah. So the Christmas tree stories, that's what it's all about. It's to be celebrated. We're meant to celebrate life, not jizz them on your sock.
Yeah. It's supposed to be intentional, which is another thing like this.
Exactly.
Intentional pregnancies and stuff are coming.
So that's what we did, bro. My baby.
Did, okay. Well, maybe we can tie that into the talk as well and talk about.
Yeah, man. Mate, I should even bring my missus on if you want. She's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
She's like she's all into ancient healing, ancient wisdom. Okay. She's awesome. So we had, again, mate, we had our baby in the front room of my house, you know.
Yeah.
And she pumped her out. It was fucking amazing, bro. You know, and that's no doctors, no one jabbing my little girl. She came out.
Poison.
Yeah, evil people that do that to babies. Welcome to
okay, let's do that then. All right. Yeah, well, next time, if you can talk her into coming on, and we'll hook up a time, and maybe we'll do something on Auto. And
I'd love that, mate. She'd really love it too, brother. That'd be great.
Yeah, cool.
And she's a beautiful soul as well. Yeah, man, beautiful soul, beautiful woman. And yeah, we would both really enjoy that, bro. And it's a topic that's really close to us as well. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
just been through it. Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. Love to. Let's do it.
Cool, legend. Well, mate, how about we wrap it up there today? It's been another hour and a half of a pleasure, brother.
Thank you. It's always fun. Yeah. A bit of a ramble this time, but hopefully everyone enjoyed it.
That's it, mate. It's funny, our ramble one. I looked at our last vid. I nearly didn't put it up because we swore so much. And then the funny thing was, I said to my son, I was like, dude, I'm throwing that many F-bombs around. He goes, so is Campbell. And I'm like, oh, fuck it. I was like, yeah, all right, that's good. Let's just put it up. But that had heaps of views, man. And we're getting some great feedback, mate. So, yeah, I think people are really enjoying our chats. And it's nice. And that's what we're here for, bro. We're here to spread the truth. And, I wanted to say too, mate, people, please share our vids. My subs are getting unsubbed.
Already, jeez.
Already, bro. So God knows how many subs I really have.
Yeah, me too. Like I've been on 46,000 for about 6 months.
Yeah.
But every month it says, oh, you just got 2,000 subs or something. But,
mate, I'm being heaven for someone who's so new to this.
You
know,
they get
they've really been, because of my all the connections we have. We're right in the heart of it, bro. All the good topics, the truth. They don't like the truth, bro. It hurts their bum bums. I've told them.
Definitely. So everyone watching, I don't know if you're hooked up, but you should go and hook up to Odyssey and Rumble, and you'll get everything uploaded automatically. And everyone watching, go to Rumble or Odyssey and subscribe on those, because at least those channels, they're not gonna stuff with your stuff. You know, they won't unsubscribe you. And ultimately, we've all sort of got to start thinking about moving into these sort of new platforms, because YouTube is just getting ridiculous. You know, obviously at the moment you can't even mention some countries' names without just getting instantly axed. So it's
yeah, man, I'm pretty stoked that my vids seem to, geez, although some vids have just take so long to load, bro, and then I just give up, and then others, just my last vid went up like that, and we talked about all sorts of stuff. I thought, fucking hell. So
weird.
Yeah, but
Get there.
We'll get there, mate, and let's just keep doing what we do, bro. Always a pleasure to have you on my show, mate. You're a legend, you're a gentleman, and love your work, bro. And hopefully soon, mate, we'll be sitting down drinking a chai latte together, you know.
Yeah.
You know, we can.
Won't be too much longer.
Yeah,
I'm starting to look at flights and stuff and a bit of travel, so yes. We just got to get rid of these parasites and get on with it.
Yeah, just get out the insect spray, get rid of these parasites, keep doing truth, and good night, Vienna.
Bloody oath. Yep. The bus will be ready soon on the road, and I'll be there.
All right, legend. Have a great evening, brother.
Cheers, mate.
We'll speak again.
Talk to you next time.
Cool, man. Bye.
See you, Gary.
Bye.